What? Get a fucking hat and a job, you bum.
He doesn't even have a bobble.
Doesn't even have a fucking ball.
Well, fuck.
Rihanna. She's got the voice. She did a song with Calvin Harris, no less. She's a pop queen. What can I say, you know? New album. It's called Anti, if you're American, or Anti, if you're on this side
in
of
all
the pond.
caps, because that's now cool to write everything in all caps.
Yeah, all caps when you spell the name, you know? Okay. First of all, stop reading my notes. Second of all, I wasn't expecting this.
No, it was quite surprising.
I wasn't expecting this at all. What a surprise. A shock. A pleasant shock, no less.
The first song was pretty. When it came in, I was like, what? This was not what I was expecting. It's really, a lot of this album is really minimal and lo-fi.
Yes.
In a way that I did not at all expect, and in quite a nice way on a lot of them.
Yeah, I mean, like, she's a huge pop queen. I was expecting, like, it to be a fucking hit factory kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
I was expecting everything to be the fucking single, but I was expecting, like, loads of radio-friendly, like, very safe, very poppy. But I was hearing an artist, not a pop machine, in this album. And to be honest, going in here, you guys will back me up on this, I wasn't expecting this album to be, like, amazing.
We almost didn't do it because he was so against it.
Yeah.
I was like, it's going to be good, but is it going to be, like, that interesting? And you know what? I'm so glad we did it because first track, Considerations feat SZA.
I think it's one of the best tracks on here, definitely.
Yeah,
It's got this really heavy lo-fi beat.
Dude, yeah.
And it's short and simple and sweet. It doesn't overstay its welcome.
Bass and bit crushed beat and just her voice.
Her voice was crazy as well. Kind of went all over the place.
Yeah, it was like very ba ba ba.
She's
like,
a good singer.
Ba ba ba.
ba 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 ba
This
ba.
is kids music, like an old retro drum machine and like a bass in for then.
Nice.
But yeah, this track was fucking insane. And the interesting thing, it goes straight to the next track, James Joint, which was like weird again because this time there was no drum beat and it was just like jazzy like keys that kind of sounded.
When it came in, I was like, oh god, a weird song, yeah. That's interesting, original. Good job, Rihanna. Really, really playing it up there. But then I was just like, these keys are nice though. They're really nice.
This album sounded just beautifully
and it was real short as
thin.
well. It didn't, being like just a stupid weird song, it didn't like annoy me too much because it's like a minute long.
A minute 12.
Yeah, it's so short and it's just like, it doesn't overstay its welcome. And I think some of the songs on here get that so right, especially the first two tracks where, and there's a one later on I really like that's just short and sweet and they do what they need to do and then they leave.
Yeah, like it's like more of an interlude really. I describe it as a pretty little ditty.
Yeah. But in some of these songs...
A pretty little ditty.
Okay.
Some of these songs, especially the third song is the first one, which does this for me, I feel like she's doing the interesting thing. She's taking these sort of lo-fi interesting beats, but she's not doing that much with them. Some of them run a bit long. When she does go into like 3-4 minute longer songs, some of them just sit there and do nothing, like don't change throughout the whole song. And then the fact that they're really minimal starts to drag and you're like...
I really love the production of this album, like a lot.
It's good sound. It never is a bad sound, but sometimes it's just not like structured well and not written well.
I felt as though when it got to the third track, I kind of started to feel like that was so the
I started to feel. It's very deep.
It was so numb until then.
Because the first two tracks are like less than 3 minutes, both of them.
Yeah,
and then you get your first like full track, and I felt as though it was kind of getting like, oh, and this is where it gets poppy, but it kind of like backed off. It didn't go too poppy.
It had those sort of big, like, sort of typical trying too hard guitar sounds.
The guitar was like a throwback. It was more of like a gimmick.
Yeah, it's like not quite heavy enough to be anything interesting in that way, but it's like just heavy enough to go, ooh, edgy, and it's just like...
It's like a lead guitar from a Michael Jackson song.
Yeah.
It was like that big kind of 80s metal guitar, all like big hair and tight trousers from that era. It's obviously meant to just be like sound like that stylistic.
And the synth was quite like that sort of era as well. And I thought this was one of the weak points. Like,
I know this sounded like it was trying to be like a 90s kind of R&B track. I wasn't like a massive fan of it, to be honest.
I wasn't a massive fan of the Drake track.
You know what? I wasn't a massive fan of the Drake track until Drake came in.
Yeah,
Yes.
Drake was the best thing about that track by far. But the like
It kind of worked though after
the
he came in.
instrumentation on
Everything
that
was kinda...
is really held back in a way that didn't at all work for Rihanna, and even
Yeah,
for
did
Drake
you not
was a
feel
bit
as though,
weird.
like, as soon as the track started and as soon as she started singing, you were like, this is meant to be like a Drake song.
Yeah, it
and then
didn't
Drake,
work.
like, before I even saw that it featured Drake, I was like, this would work better with Drake in it, because she's, like, doing his style, and it was weird.
And, like, when-
and then he came in. I
when
was like,
she's
oh,
on
okay.
the good beats in here where it works for her, they're all big, and that was just so held back. Like the bass was really small and wasn't that heavy at any point. The drums were quite thin. It had a quite sort of dark vibe, which is really Drake, but just didn't fit her.
There was actually
as
quite
much.
a lot of darkness in this.
Yeah,
in
man.
This, album.
The album. I was fucking loving it.
Yeah, it's definitely taken quite a lot of influence from that sort of OVO sound thing that's going on with like Drake and all those sort of.
I wasn't a
that crew.
massive fan of 6 through 8 though. Tracks Woo, Needed Me, and Yeah, I Said It. None of them really stood out to me.
I totally agree with you there.
That was
For
the
most-
weakest
for
part
the
of the
most
album
part.
for me.
I don't know. I thought Woo was fucking incredible.
Really?
I thought it was so brave as well for like a pop act to go for that kind of like.
I
there was dissonance from a Rihanna track.
But this is how I wrote it. I thought Woo was really lo-fi and it had that sort of interesting dissonance, but I don't think it was used to any real effect.
I thought as though it started like pretty good,
Yeah.
but it kind of kept doing
They
that
didn't
for
do
a
anything.
full
Yeah.
4 minutes.
They had the idea and they went, "We've got this
Yeah.
interesting idea here," and then they didn't do anything with it. They kind of just left it there. And
I wrote
disagree.
down. I wrote down that
quite
it doesn't go anywhere, and I don't like its current location.
yeah, I think that fits it for me as well.
like Scunthorpe.
I thought needed me.
Harsh,
Needed me. I
Sorry,
really liked the
Scunthorpe
sort of
is-
ghostly vocal effect it had going on there throughout there. But
I love this kind of
didn't
like
think it was
clashing, sharp kind of chords, overlaying big bass, and vocals used more as like an instrument, like with autotune, with like their sort of young style
Yeah.
effects on it.
I thought, yeah, I said it was all right as well, but I didn't think it was anything great. I just thought that was sort of decent.
Yeah, I just thought it was kind of the same kind of. It didn't really stand out as anything.
I don't think this was the weakest point in the ballad though, or in the album though.
Ballad.
I think-
Is that is there something coming up here? Spoilers.
Maybe.
Spoilers.
But the next bit is the bit that really took me. Same old mistake.
Tame Impala cover.
Yeah, because it turned on, I was like, this is sick. And I was like, I really recognise this. I really recognise this. And then
That's exactly
do you know
what I
I did
thought.
it the wrong way around. I looked it up on her album first and I went, oh, of course. It was written and produced by Kevin Parker. Of course it sounds familiar. It's his style. And then I was like, but I really recognise it. I looked into it a bit more. I was like, oh, it's a cover of a Tame Impala song, and she's just shortened the name.
Yeah, from the album that
And
came
it's
out last
really
year,
good.
Currents.
It's a really impressive
Which
cover
you
of
should
that
check
song.
out our review of, by the way.
I was so confused. I was just doing that bass line. It sounds like it can write off of Currents.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And it was a
And then
real good
I
version
started
of it,
fucking
though.
hearing like I swear there are Kevin Parker fucking like backing vocals.
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh,
I'm even hearing him singing
I think
in
they
this.
did like get a bit
Yeah,
of his
listen to it again. You'll hear his back
because he's got a load of credits on there. Like he has production credits on it, and he didn't work on it, but I think they gave it to him because they used like bits of the original sort of thing.
Interesting.
I also did look up, and apparently he was like, I love it. I approve of it so much.
Dude,
He
that's
like, it's
it was
awesome.
fucking sick.
And it was a really good version of it.
Oh yeah, I
was just like-
actually really rated them.
Yeah, I was like, this is like the best song on the album, like, which makes sense because it's a song from a better album.
Her
But
voice
it
is
was
so
really
close to
good.
his as well. At some points, it's like
Yeah,
Kevin Parker
Yeah, she
sounds a
was
lot like
she
a girl.
did it justice.
Definitely, yeah. It was
But
really interesting.
what she didn't do was change it up so much. It's not like she took
Yeah.
the original version, made it her own. She just kind of did
She just did a good version of the
a
original.
good cover version, really.
The next bit is where I feel it gets weak. The next few songs.
The generic acoustic track.
Yes.
Yeah.
These songs are
Never
where it gets
ending.
pretty boring. Because it has the same problem that some of the electronic tracks have, where it doesn't really go anywhere and the instrumental's kind of repetitive, except it doesn't have the upside that the instrumental is at least interesting and big. The instrumental has become sort of just an instrument and it's...
I thought
I
they were
disagree. I
alright.
really liked the acoustic number. Because I was going in there with like a harsh feeling. I went never ending. I'm betting when I get to that track, I'll have the same feeling that this album is never ending. But no, I really fucking enjoyed it. It was great.
I thought it was just like an okay acoustic track.
Yeah.
I expected it's a pop album, you're going to get a kind of acoustic guitar only kind of track.
Yep.
And it happened, and I was like, it wasn't bad, it wasn't great, it was just an acoustic
Yeah.
pop track. But the next ones were different. They were
When it got to
kind
good-
of more ballady.
Yeah.
I really loved that little
I
section.
quite enjoyed Love on the Brain.
So did I.
I thought the vocals were really good, and I thought the instrumentation was pretty nice. I think it was an amazing track.
I loved, like, it just went, like, it's like you get thrown right back in time the second that song starts. Like, this really, like, wonderful emulative kind of soul song. And the vocals are just, like, delicate and, like, vulnerable. And
they were all well done, this little section, but they just weren't as interesting to me. And as I was surprised at some of the other bits of how much I liked some of the other interesting stuff, I was like, this went back to where I was like, okay, now they're putting in sort of the more radio-friendly tracks.
For me, the next two, though, the final two, the closers.
Goodnight Gotham as well. I think that one's super interesting. And it's another one that's only 1 minute 25.
Have you done
You listened to the deluxe version, didn't you, mate?
Is it?
Yeah, well done.
Well, it was fucking good.
Okay.
It was really good.
Well, Close to You, the final track on the album, non-deluxe, was a piano ballad. And I just thought it was a piano ballad.
Oh, Piano Reeves.
Piano Reeves.
So the sad thing is, after that, I thought it got better when it got to the deluxe stuff.
When it got to the bonus content.
Goodnight Gotham, and I think it's either Pose or Posse. I don't know what it's meant to be.
Don't ask us.
How's it spelled?
P-O-S-E.
Then it'll be Pose.
Okay.
Posse is 2 S's.
Okay.
Facts.
Spelling tracks here from James with no second name. They were both really awesome songs. I thought they were pretty interesting.
Fair.
The last song on the thing was a generic trap, and it was pretty boring. But those two songs were good. The Goodnight Gotham was actually
now that you've said that, throughout the entire album, I expected some sort of trap song, and there wasn't one, except for on the bonus.
There's one boring generic trap, and there was one pretty cool, quite track inspired one, which was kind of interesting and pretty good, which was Pose. But yeah, the last song was a generic track song.
I loved the last two, the proper last two. And I just felt like it was like the end of a day, like kind of drunk in like a hotel bar somewhere, singing like sad songs to each other on a piano, and it touched me.
Except that she's actually drunk in a limousine on the way back to her mansion.
She's got money.
Her mansion, in Ibiza or whatever.
It hasn't changed her though. She's still rocking it.
I think it has.
No.
I know, right? Controversial. Money changes people. When people become famous, they don't always stay the same.
She's the same.
So the interesting thing now as well is I'm going to have to just say, in my favourite track list, I did have Goodnight Gotham, which now isn't in here, because it was an interesting, sort of mostly instrumental, kind of cool thing. But my favourite songs apart from that would be Same Old Mistakes, obviously, and then Consideration and Needed Me.
Okay.
Yeah, mine would be Same Old Mistakes. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I said it's the other song.
Doesn't she say, like, yeah, I said it, it's the name of the title or something? It's like the title of the track.
She references it as the title.
What a lyric. That's why I didn't
It's at least meta.
I'll probably go for... I don't know. I'm going to stick with those two for now.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm going to go Consideration, Desperado. Same old mistakes.
Sponsor much. That's the one first thing I wrote when I was like, sponsor much. And the first thing she says in that song is Desperado. I was just like, this is going to be a club.
I thought it was going to be a really bad cover of the Eagles song, but luckily it wasn't.
So he thought it was going to be an advert for a dodgy tequila beer.
It was an advert for a dodgy tequila beer.
It was.
Was it?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Anyway, so let me say again. Consideration, Desperado, Same Old Mistakes, and Love on the Brain. I thought they were my favourite.
Sweet. Out of 10, Gareth.
I was between two scores on this.
So was I.
I think I'm going to go 7.
Okay. James, your boy?
I'm going to go with a 6.
6. I'm going to go with a strong 7. Really fucking loved this album.
Interesting.
It's funny because we were the ones who wanted to do it.
Yeah. Really fucking loved it. What do you guys think of this? You know, you guys need to start tweeting at us more often because we're getting lonely here at the Sonic Squeeze. So yeah, tweet us. Let us know what you think of this album. Leave a comment. Like the video. Survive. You know, I'll catch you next time. Yeah.
If you can live until our next video, that would help us.
Yeah. Like, comment.
It will be
survive.
Out in 24 hours from the release of this.
From the time you see this, yeah.
That sounds like sinister for some reason.
We are telling our audience we want them to survive for at least 24 hours so they can watch our next video. That's pretty sinister.
Catch you later.